am in the business of helping other people, selling products and services. Why on earth do I need to learn how to tell a story in my marketing? And what has that got to do with aligning with my clients and calling them in? Tune in to find out. Welcome to Inner Business, the podcast that delves deep into the soul of entrepreneurship. My name is Selena Woodward, seasoned business owner, qualified business coach, and intuitive guide. I'm going to offer you actionable steps to increase your revenue whilst we explore how you are showing up in your business. Let's explore the blocks and connect the dots on your journey to business fulfillment. Hi there, and welcome back to another beautiful episode of Inner Business. As always, I am your gracious host, Selena Woodward, the business coach who asks you to tune in to what your business is trying to teach you. Now, we are currently working through a mini series on how we align our message and call in customers. And we're talking very, very much about the StoryBrand framework. As a business made simple accredited coach, I work with lots of people to help them create what we call a story brand script. And in the last episode of Inner Business, I talked about your website, its purpose, and whether or not what you've done with your website is actually working. In this episode, I want to dive a little deeper into the idea of story in your marketing. And my inner English teacher gets really excited about this stuff. So if I look at your website, last week I asked you to give it the Grunt test and ask 3 very simple questions to see if your customers can look at your website and in 5 seconds know what you do, how you help them, and can work with you. There's a clear call to action. Comment below and let me know how that went with your website, what that brought up for you. Because today we're going to dive a little deeper into what kind of story do I need? What are you talking about, Selena? What is this magical narrative? And what does that have to do with my customers? So I'm going to start with a quote. And this quote comes from the StoryBrand Book, which I recommend. And there's a link to grab that book over on the show notes at selenawoodward.com/006. If you head to the show notes, you'll find all the links for today's episode, including links to books and resources that you can use as we go on this journey together. Now, in the StoryBrand Book by Donald Miller, Donald says that just because a tagline sounds great and the website catches the eye, it looks beautiful, it doesn't mean that you are helping your customers to enter into a story. Now, you might be thinking, why would I even want my customers to enter into a story with me? What is the point of that? I'm selling a service or a product. Well, here on the Inner Business podcast, we're always exploring how our business reflects us and what it has to show us. But our business also needs to hold a mirror and reflect back to our customers. And we can do that by inviting them into a story where we explore what our character wants, what's stopping them getting it, and what life will be like for them if they achieve their goal. In fact, what we're doing is we're taking a formula that is used in every great TV show, every amazing movie, and every book that you just cannot put down. So I want you to think about, what are the ingredients that make a binge-worthy Netflix show, that make the next big hit at the box office, at the movies, or help you not want to put down that book? Have you ever had one of those books where you cry when you get to the end because there is no more? Or is that just me? There is something about those stories that are compelling, that make you lean in and want to, cheer on the main characters and find out whether they succeed. That is the energy that we need for your customer. And that is why inviting them into a story is an incredibly powerful marketing technique. Now, the great news is there is a formula for this, and the StoryBrand framework outlines 7 areas that we need to use in order to create a compelling story that calls our customer in and gives them the opportunity to choose to work with us. And those 7 elements are going to seem very familiar to you because all humans love a story. Story is how we make sense of the world. Sometimes those stories in our mind stop us making progress. They're the blocks that our business is teaching us about. They are definitely the blocks that our customers experience from time to time. Story is incredibly powerful. And the 7 elements of a great story include a character, a main character who wants something. But what they want, they can't have. There's a problem and they can't overcome that problem. So they meet a guide, somebody who has overcome that problem in the past. And that guide calls them to action and gives them a plan. And this plan helps them avoid all the bad stuff, all the pitfalls, all the exploding bombs and the fire and all the bad things. And instead helps them step closer and closer to winning, to getting what it is that they wanted, that they couldn't reach by themselves. Now imagine if the copy on your website, if the story in your stories on Instagram, in your emails, your nurture campaigns was as compelling as Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones, The Hunger Games, any great story that you recognize. Compelling because your customer leans in. And extra compelling because when they look at that character, they not only see a cool story and somebody they want to cheer on, but they actually see themselves. The reality is that in the StoryBrand world of marketing, which I 407,000% recommend, your customer is that main character. They are the hero of the story. There is something that your customer wants that they have so far not been able to achieve by themselves. And once we nut out what it is that they want and what is stopping them from getting it, you get to position yourself, your services, your products as the guide, as the solution to helping them get what it is that they want. As they come to your website and they read the story that you share, you want them to see themselves. You want to honor their journey. You want them to go, my goodness, that's me too. They see me, they hear me. This is what I mean about holding space for them, holding a mirror up and letting them see what's actually going on. And then, of course, showing them, not just telling them, but showing them how you as the hero can support them on their journey and help them. Because if they recognize themselves in the narrative, they will get curious and they will stay longer and they will learn more about you and what you do. So if you need some examples of what this might look like in a narrative, let's think about a romance story. Maybe there's a guy, opens on this guy, and he really is looking for love. And he's not had much luck so far. And he's tried all the dating sites, and he's tried this, that, and the other, and he still hasn't met the person of his dreams. And then there he is in the coffee shop, ordering coffee, and suddenly he sparks this beautiful connection with another soul. And to everybody watching, it is very obvious that these two are meant for each other. And we're all like, yay, it's happening, it's awesome, he's getting what he wants. He's not going to get what he wants. We need a problem. The problem is she leaves the store and he completely forgot to get her phone number. Oh no, will he ever see her again? There's our problem. Or so we think, but we're going to push that problem a little more. That evening, he's due to go to his cousin's engagement party. He's not that close with his cousin. He hasn't seen his cousin in a while. But when he gets to his cousin's engagement party, guess who his cousin is due to marry? Bim bam bam, you have guessed it. The girl from the coffee shop. Are you leaning in? Do you want to know what happens? Will he betray his cousin? Will she marry the wrong man? Do you see what's happening here? We're leaning in, we're pushing the problem, and everybody's like, ooh! But there has to be a problem, and we have to make that problem big enough that there is a reason to want to lean in and a reason to want to cheer them on and see what happens next. An inciting incident, if you will. Your copy needs that too. And to do that, you need to do some work around who your customer is and what they really want so that you can position yourself as the guide who is going to help them get the girl, who's going to help them in the Hunger Games, survive the Hunger Games. You are going to be Yoda in Star Wars. You are not Luke Skywalker. And that's a bit of a paradigm shift, isn't it? We touched on this a little last week. Because a lot of websites start with, here I am and these are my services, like a brochure, like something that you would take from, a magazine stand and put online. And that's one way of moving forward, but it's not the most connected way. It is not the most aligned way, and it certainly doesn't help your customer to see themselves journeying with you so that they can then make a choice about whether you are the person or your service and product are the things that are going to help them. If you don't know what their problem is and you can't articulate it, you won't be able to serve up your offering as the solution either. So you can see how these mismatches happen. If you look at your copy right now and you're the hero in the cape, then what you're actually telling your customer is, I need help. I've got a problem and I'm going to need some support to solve that problem. You've put yourself in the weaker position in the narrative. The minute your product or service is the guide in the narrative of a story, you become the person who's been there and done that. You become the trusted advisor. You become the person who is going to help someone else solve their problem. And people want to pay to have their problems solved. That's your business, right? So tune into the StoryBrand framework. Really think about who your customer is, what their problem is, and how your services can support them. Stop telling them about your services without first honoring them, their journey, and what they need. Now, I'd like to invite you into a mini reflection now. So if you're driving, maybe come back to this later, or just keep your eyes open while you think and reflect. But if you're at home now, I would really like to treat you to just a short reflection meditation. When I work with this or on this with my clients, we actually spend about 15-20 minutes in this reflection, and it's gold for really tuning into your customer. So I'm going to give you a little snippet today just to get you to think about who your customer is and what their problem is, why they are coming to you. So, if you're ready, find a comfortable place to sit and just take a beautiful deep breath with me. Let's just do 2 more of those. Really feel yourself just grounding. Now I want you to imagine a customer that you have recently worked with. This may be a customer who's purchased a product from you. It may be a customer who's journeyed with you in a service that you offer. But I want you to visualize that customer now, make them really clear in your mind. I want you to imagine them walking through the door of your store, of your service space, and taking a seat opposite you on a beautiful, comfortable chair. This customer is coming to you at the beginning of their journey, and something is troubling them. There is a problem. Even if they're coming to you to purchase a candle, to buy a bunch of flowers, even if they're coming to you for a massage, a ritual, or a rite of passage, if they're coming to you for counseling, for a tarot reading, whatever it is, they've come to you because they need some help with something. Really look at your customer right now in your mind's eye. Look at their body language. Read and tune in to their energy. What are you noticing about them right now? Do they look stressed, hurried? Do they look excited? Do they look like they just need to breathe and they're all wired and they just need a break? Do they look frustrated, overwhelmed? What is going on for them? In your mind's eye, ask them what brought them to you today. What are they looking for? And just listen. What do they say to you? As they talk, I want you to imagine your products and your services appearing around them. And there are energetic strings from each of them to each of the problems that your customer is facing. If you are a beautiful candle manufacturer who sells gorgeous homemade candles with crystals infused in them, and in front of you you have a soul who is tired, needs to rest, needs to meditate, needs a reason to take space for themselves, think about how your candles help them achieve that. Connect your services to their problems. Connect your products to their problems. Thank them for their time. Thank them for sharing with you. Thank them for the reminder of why you are here and how you serve. Really feel the gratitude for the opportunity to be their guide and to help them. Hopefully their body language is shifting and they're feeling supported and seen and hopeful. Now I want you to take another deep breath. reconnect with the space that you're in and grab a pen and a piece of paper and just spend a few minutes making notes about that experience. What did you learn about your customer's problem and how your services connect? Write it all down, because in next week's episode of the Inner Business Podcast, I'm going to give you 3 lenses to dive even deeper into the notes that you will write right now, so that you can start to talk directly to your customer's problem and how you solve it in a way that just makes them want to lean in and journey with you. Comment below on what came up for you in that visualization. Any big aha moments and realizations? And keep those notes safe for next week, where we will dive even deeper. That's it for this week on Inner Business Podcast. I'm Selena Woodward.